Hello, hello. Welcome to another day of Open Source Week at Global Hack Week. Super excited to join y'all. Just going to do a really quick mic check. Hope you all can hear me. And we'll go ahead and get started. If I can get a quick confirmation, just because I want to make sure things are working. Got a decent amount of folks joining us today. Excellent. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Cool. That means we can keep going. Welcome to day 5 of Open Source Week. As for who you have today, you just have me. I'm a coach in Major League Hacking. My name is Cecilia, and I said I was working on a sweater this week. I've actually kind of just been reading on the couch. I'm trying to hold myself accountable, but like working on a sweater is hard. It takes a while. But that's okay. Like slow and steady will win the race somewhere, somehow. Sure. And let's talk about yesterday, where I did not do anything sweater related, but you went to a bonus Hacktoberfest stream with Swift and Solana. I actually got the chance to meet Solana at an event I was helping staff. They were so nice. They're really wonderful people. So if you didn't get a chance to check out the stream, go ahead to YouTube and watch yesterday's stream. I'm sure they talked about lots of cool things. I actually didn't get a chance to catch it, but maybe someone in chat wants to let me know how it went. Honestly, I think it's just a stream full of good people doing good things. So that's just based on from having met some of them in person. They're all really lovely folk. And then you hooked up with Ro, where you were exploring vector search on MongoDB. I actually recognized 2 of the 3 books. I have no idea what Wizard's Hall is, but I guess I should add that to my reading list. I actually don't know a ton about vector search. I know Ro's been running this workshop for a couple Global Hack Weeks now. I'm sure it's new things all the time because AI is always changing. But I do know that it is a critical stream for you all, especially as you go into hackathons and making projects while at them. This is a really common component of projects that I see whenever I'm judging. So check out the vector search workshop. Then we wrap the MCP servers track with Way. I can't even start to figure out what it is you all did. I should really go watch those streams, but I know that Wei is our lead human workshop person on MCP. He's always doing a few workshops on these for you all. And if you had a chance to watch any of last Global Hack Weeks, whether it was last month or 2 months ago, I'm pretty sure he's done a similar workshop then. It might be building on top of that knowledge. Oh, excuse me. But I know that he's definitely been our genius when it comes to MCP. So definitely check it out. Then we explored how robots move around with Bully. I know that he's been doing a lot of robotic streams, so it's really cool to just see how many foundations he's giving you to really just make an incredible series across Global Hack Weeks. Then you deep dived into open source with Alberto. I did run today in Global Hack Week, so I know you did more than a few sessions with him. But again, much pride in Alberto. He's always doing these great beginner workshops for you all. This is probably where, if you haven't had a chance to get into open source, this is a great series to check out because he will be walking you through not only terms, as you can see, but I'm pretty sure actually walking you through making an actual pull request and what that means and how to do it right, so that way you don't upset maintainers. You never want maintainers upset with you, especially when it comes to open source and Hacktoberfest. You want to make sure you proceed respectfully. And I know Alberto's doing a great job making sure that you all have all the tools and all of the insider knowledge to make sure you're an excellent contributor. Then you started working on your first open source AI agent with Quinn. Again, I cannot claim to know what's going on. I really should be watching these streams, but this one was actually 3 a.m. my time, so there's no way I was going to catch it. But once again, as a reminder, go ahead and go back to YouTube to watch any of the streams that we've had this week and any past Global Hack Week streams if you're looking for even more information. Now, I do want to give a really just enthusiastic shout out. I got told this morning that we had a really cool demo submitted, and I'm so excited to share it with you. We have a 3D solar system by Somya and Sabarna, and you might be able to hear my computer whirring in and out of the background. You might not, but it is testing my graphics, which I love. And I'm going to go ahead and share that link with you all. But if you're not able to join on a link, right this moment. You can always check it out later, but I'm going to go ahead and demo it on stream as well. I just want you to have the link for later because it is just such an incredible project. Like, there is so much work that went into this, at least from what I can see. And I just want to elevate, like, it is really cool. So let's go ahead and... So I actually fiddled around a little bit already, and I went to mission control and I was like, hey, I want to actually see things move way faster, because if we were to watch things in real time of how the universe is moving, we'd be here for eons. But it's just so cool to see, like, our solar system represented this way. I always love these kinds of things. I do have a deep love of astronomy. And as you can see, I've changed the bloom on it just that way we can actually see the details of, like, the sun and how it's affecting the other planets. We can see the little moon going around. So cute. And if you're not sure what those names are, especially like planets, I'm sure we know. However, what about moon names? Like, there are so many moons in our solar system. So again, props to Somya and Savarna. Excellent job. This is such a cool, like, I feel honored that I get to demo your project. I wish I could have, like, had you on stream to demo it for us. Tell us all the, like, Easter eggs or something, but maybe you'll just have to let us know in the Discord of all the different things that make your project tick, or maybe people have questions about how it's working. But still, incredible job. I wish I knew more to tell you more about what's going on in this project. Let me see if I can see to my notes. I don't have any extra stuff in my notes. So you're going to have to maybe post some screenshots, say how much you love the project or how cool it is, or maybe ask those questions. Maybe the community can help figure out what's, how is it built and what is it doing and how is it working this way and how is it, not killing my graphics driver. We love to see it. So excellent. If you want to demo your work, we always love elevating hacker work. Please go ahead and submit to mlh.link/GHW demo. I think this is the right link. So if you're working on a really cool project and you want us to show it off during Today in Global Hack Week, go ahead and fill out that form. We can't show everyone, but we also, as you can see, don't get a ton of submissions. Now, your submission does not have to be as impressive as our friends who just made the solar system, because, well, we understand that everyone's coming in at a different level, and we honestly treat everyone's projects at the same level of, you did an impressive thing, because chances are it might have been something brand new to you. It might have been something that you really struggled with, and you really want to elevate and reward the time that you've spent to learn and all that kind of stuff. So again, I'm stumbling over my words, but the point is, we love your projects. We really do. It is such a treat to see how you grow and develop as developers, and to just enjoy and celebrate your hard work. So with that, celebrating future work, let's talk about what's happening today. We've got Varshini first up with a Tetris mini event at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 a.m. IST. Varshini actually joined me on Type Racer last night, so I will see if I can maybe join her at Tetris. But that said, it's going to be a great time to take a break, test your Tetris skills, or just get some practice in as you work toward pro. But again, always a great time to take a break. If this is going to be something that you're like, hey, this is getting into the later parts of the night, take this day as a challenge day. Fill out those featured challenges. Go ahead and make sure that you can get all the bonus swag you can, and also all the swag, because you do need to finish the featured challenges in order to be able to get the basic swag pack. Then we have Bully coming back with MQTT and IoT with Python. If you are interested in Internet of Things or anything to do with microcontrollers and having it be accessible online, particularly if you're collecting data through sensors, I highly recommend you join Bully at 8 p.m. Eastern at 5:30 p.m. or 5:30 a.m. IST. It'll be a project full of information that you've never thought of, probably, unless you've joined any of our past Global Hack Weeks, in which case you might be a little familiar. Then we've got Quinn coming back with part 2 of building an open source agent using LangChain. That'll be 7 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. IST to build intelligent open source agents. Next, we've got Ryan Lay doing the Nature of Code part 1. That'll be 9 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. IST to learn the techniques behind computer simulations of natural systems. Ooh, I wonder if you'll talk about how physics engines work in game engines. That might be an Easter egg to ask him about. And if he doesn't know, I'm sorry, Ryan, in advance. That might not be a question you're ready for. Then we are closing up with today in Global Hack Week tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. IST to know about what's coming up on day 6. But we do have an extra stream we wanted to make sure that you were aware of, which is that Hacktoberfest with Swift and GitHub is happening tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. IST. So not only can you get to know all the exciting programs by GitHub, but also know more about our partnership with GitHub. We love our friends at GitHub, and GitHub loves us, and so it is wonderful to see them collaborate, and this is a rare opportunity to actually like be in the same room, be in the same stream with them, and just enjoy the opportunity to ask all sorts of questions, getting both folks in the same stream. As a reminder, like I said, it is a pretty light day for those of us in the Western Hemisphere. I know that the Eastern Hemisphere has had like lighter days where they can work on challenges, and now it's their turn to have all these different streams available for them, which I'm so excited for. For those of us who are, awake in the next few hours, take the opportunity, work on some featured challenges, go to ghw.mlh.io/challenges, so that way you can make sure that you get your basic swag. As a reminder, our featured challenges are usually about one challenge per our partners who are working with us through Global Hack Week, particularly this week. I think one of them is Figma, one of them is GitHub, I think one of them is MongoDB, and I think there's at least one or two others that I'm totally blanking on because I totally announced them during opening. Whoops. It'd be that kind of day. But with those featured challenges, those are going to be something that you can easily complete within about 5 to 10 minutes, because they are generally just going to be, hey, go sign up for the education pack if you're able to. If not, there's an option to opt out. We are super understanding that not everyone who joins us is an active student, but you should still be able to complete those featured challenges, get your basic swag, and then you can start looking at all the other challenges that build on top of those. So again, heavily recommend, if you are free today, and it's a light stream day for you, consider doing our featured challenges so that way you can get ahead in all the other skills that you want to learn through the other challenges. And as a reminder, we have a bonus through MongoDB, where if you complete at least one skill badge challenge, you get access to a brand new MLH MongoDB hexagon sticker, which I still don't have in my collection, and I'm quite jealous of, and I need to figure out how I'm supposed to get one, because I know I've completed a few of these, but like, I'm not going to get them mailed to me because I can't participate in Global Hack Week. I feel like it's wrong as a coach for me to go and be like, oh, I'll sign up for Global Hack Week. That feels wrong. Like, you all are putting in the time and effort, and I'm just delivering the news. That's not the same. But anyway, like I said, if you finish at least one skill badge challenge, you'll be eligible for a MongoDB hexagon sticker. And as a reminder, as we always ask nowadays, help us make Global Hack Weeks even better. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you wish you saw. Tell us what we could improve on. Anything and everything, we'd love to know. So make sure that you choose the right stream that you're giving feedback for. It is a very short, I think, 3 to 5 question survey. And go ahead and give us feedback at mlh.link/GHW feedback. And as a reminder, we have released the community census, and if you complete it in its entirety, there is a chance you can win a brand new laptop. Go ahead to mlh.link/census. I'm going to go ahead and type it in so that way folks don't have to worry about getting a typo, because the only typo should hopefully be me, and I'm trying really hard not to. But go ahead and fill out that census. It tells us more about the community that we're working with. It helps us update our numbers. It helps us know who we're reaching and who we could strive better to reach in the future, because I know that we're not reaching everyone, but we sure reached you, and we'd like to reach more, making sure that the community can keep growing in a healthy manner and keep empowering more people. So again, if you fill out the community census in its entirety, you will have a chance to win a laptop when we close up. All right. Oops, wrong slide. With that, I saw a few questions in chat, so I'll take a chance to go ahead and answer those. If you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat. If you're watching this as a recording, you have to jump off, or you don't get your question in before I end the stream, you can always ask on Discord. And depending on if it involves personal information, consider opening a support ticket, so that way we can make sure that we don't risk any of your information in a public setting. All right, so questions. Oh, this was from way earlier. Yeah, I'm knitting my sweater. Well, I'm actually knitting a sweater for my partner. I've been working on it for 2 years, but like I've been stopping for like months at a time. But I'm almost done. I'm almost done with the sleeves, and I'm almost done with the like last bit of the body, and then it's like done, finished, and I'm like overwhelmed at the potential. This is about the project that we just saw that was Somya and Sabarna. I actually have no idea what it's made of. I know it's hosted on Vercel, but I don't know. I'm guessing, wait, 3D Solar System 3JS. I'm inclined to believe it's a JS app, but that's about as far as I got. Natural systems. That is a great question for Ryan when you join his stream later. If you're not able to join his stream, definitely check out the recording. I'm sure he'll explain it. But my understanding of natural systems might be things like physics and the way that we perceive the world. So I won't, you should still ask Ryan this question if you happen to join him. But fun fact about physics engines in game engines is that we don't actually use the most accurate physics engine ever. Like when you did physics, or if you're going to do physics, you're going to find that there's like very complex equations that, get to the very like tiny decimal point values. But with game engines, they don't have the compute to do all that math. And so game engines use a simplified physics engine that still look like real physics and acts like relatively real physics without actually being as accurate as it usually is. So I would say that's my understanding of natural systems. You're welcome to go ahead and take a Google of it. I think he's talked about natural systems at a previous Global Hack Week, so you might also find it out there. But I think it's worth asking him, or having a friend be like, hey, can you ask and stream for me? I won't be awake or I'll be busy. Whatever it is, I think it's worth making sure that you ask the person who's actually running the stream. As for the census, for how many people will win this, I believe it will only be one laptop. I'm not sure, though. That number could change. I can't make any promises, but I'm pretty sure it's just one for right now. All right. There are no new questions. I'm going to give it about 10-ish to 15-ish seconds extra. I know there's a delay on stream. But for those of you who are ready to hop off, I mean, thanks so much for coming. I hope you have a great rest of your Today in Global Hack Week day. And we look forward to seeing your potential demos. If not, we'll see you tomorrow at Today in Global Hack Week and all of the streams we've got coming up. Oh, there's a new question. Okay. Open source project related to AI interview site. If you bring this project to open source, will you still be able to own your ownership? I see what you mean. That is actually a great question to see. Let me see. Let me check the schedule. Hang on. So there is a stream that might be too late. No, there's a few streams. So there's 2 streams coming up tomorrow on day 6 that are talking more about open source. And like specifically, I'm looking at the understanding open source repos and how it works. That is going to be 5 p.m. Eastern, which is probably going to be around like... for someone who reads the IST times, I really don't process what the time differential is. Hang on. What's a good example? Okay, it's a 3-hour difference. That's like 2 a.m. That might be 2 a.m. Okay, let's find another one. There is Learning About Open Source Part 3. That one's 1 a.m. Eastern. So that one actually might be going to Alberto's Learning About Open Source Part 3 on day 6. Might be something within your time zone. I'm assuming you're based in India, because most people who are asking these kinds of questions probably didn't get a chance to see some of the earlier streams, is my assumption. But the point is, there are 2 streams coming up. If you would like to have a chance to ask this question live, there is a likely possibility that Alberto's for Part 1 and Part 2 recordings might cover this. And if they don't do a good enough job, obviously they can show up to either Alberto's stream or the stream coming up on Learning About Open Source. Or sorry, not Learning About Open Source. I'm looking for Understanding Open Source Repos. I don't know who's running that one, but I don't. Otherwise, I want to say yes, you own it still, depending on your licensing. And so I'd recommend that if you are looking for an immediate answer, that you look into licensing, what level of license you would need and what that means for you, and then going from there. But I still think checking out either Alberto's past streams on YouTube, his part 1 and part 2 on open source, they might cover more about what it means to own a repo. Okay, there are no new questions though. I'm going to close it up there. As a reminder, if you're watching a recording or again you had to hop off, or like I've closed the stream as I'm going to do in a moment, always feel free to ask a question in the Discord. There is a chance the community might be able to answer for you. And if not, open a support ticket, then we'll be able to better help you depending on what your need might be. But once again, I hope you have a great rest of your Global Hack Week. I'll see you tomorrow at Today in Global Hack Week, day 6. And I look forward to seeing if there's any new demos that pop up. I'm so excited to show off somebody's project. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, have a good one and enjoy the rest of your days.